Wisconsin Republican Ron Johnson is on the Senate Budget Committee as well as the Senate Appropriations Committee, and he joins me now. Good morning, Senator. Good to have you here today.
Good morning, Martha. Thanks for having me on.
So what do you think of Warren Buffett's proposal?
Well, I can only speak for myself, but I, like millions of other small to medium-sized business people, report our income through the personal income tax, and we pay personal income tax rates, which right now, when you add state and local government, is close to 50%. When the Bush tax cuts expire, if we allow them to expire, and with Obamacare, that marginal tax rate will be pushed up above 50%. So people that are working hard to build a good life for themselves and their families, small to medium-sized business people, don't have the luxury like Warren Buffett of sitting back and just claiming capital gains. So I don't know how long it's been since Warren Buffett, or whether he ever did operate machinery in a plant, pick up and take out the garbage, but I've done those types of things, and millions of business people do that type of thing. And we don't want to crush their incentive in order to build good businesses, build good lives for themselves and the people who work with them. So
understood. If he wants to flatten out, it sounds in many ways like he'd like to flatten out the tax rate, because he pays, as you point out, the capital gains 15% rate on investments, which is why his tax rate is lower than his secretary. Clearly, he pays a lot more money out than she does. But, why isn't he talking about a flat tax rate? And it makes it sound like, perhaps he would be supporting somebody like Rick Perry if what he really wants to do is make taxes fair across the board.
Again, I respect Warren Buffett for his investment strategies. I'm not so sure I agree with him in terms of his tax strategies. What I know is what Republicans want to do is we want to grow our economy. And so we actually want to enact pro-growth tax reform that gets rid of the 70,000-page tax code, the $200 to $300 billion a year in compliance costs, and actually incentivize people to realize their full human potential. And that's really, what I'd like to talk about is the Americans' choice agenda. It's not about dividing Americans, it's about informing Americans about the very real differences between President Obama's lack of solution, other than growing the government, increasing its intrusion into our lives, versus our approach about growing the private sector and allowing Americans to, like I say, realize their full human potential.
Understood. Well, no doubt, as we head through this election season, we're going to hear a lot more about President Obama's belief that the rich should pay more, and no doubt Warren Buffett will be chiming in, as he has in the past, with that sentiment as well. So, Ron Johnson, thanks for sharing your thoughts on that with us today. Good to see you, Senator.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me on.